Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about spinning in the grease and how to evaluate a little bit of what you have. So this is a Jacob fleece. Again, this is all well skirted. So anything you see on here that might look like feces is not. All of that is taken off. And what is left is the lanolin. And if you could feel this, it feels very dusty, almost a little bit gritty. It's from Georgia where there's clay and a lot of dust. So that's what's caught in the lanolin. If you have a lanolin fleece and it's just in the raw, it's off the animal, and you want to see what it's going to look like after it's scoured without going through a lot of heavy duty chemicals, Dawn is the most affordable. I've used a lot of the other different ones on the market and did all the pH tests. If you're on public water or you have decent well water, this will give you a good read for what's going on with your wool. So I'm going to wash this as if I just bought this fleece and I want to find out what's going on. So I want tepid water. I want it warm to the touch, not hot. I don't want it to feel like it would be as hot as tea, but I do want it warm to the touch. So what you can do to rinse everything off except the lanolin is just rinse it with regular tepid water. It will not break down the lanolin, so the only thing you're rinsing off are the things that are on the outside of the shaft and the lanolin. So you can see the water is getting hot, so I'm going to stop that because I don't want to take the lanolin out yet. So you can see what is happening. You've already got frizzy wool. So what is happening is the weight that the lanolin in the soil was creating, you'll see this start to pop and kind of bloom. This is wonderful. We're getting toward the state of what the wool is without the lanolin. We're going to literally, you can put 1 drop in a gallon and you just need it to cut the lanolin fat. Lanolin reacts very much like a wax and a fat. So, and when I'm rubbing my hands like this, I am not felting it. I am just rolling it. So what you'll be able to see with just that is how this is going to scour. You can see the little bit still stuck, but look at that white. That is incredible. So this is how this is going to scour up. If you spin in the grease, after you wash it, this is what's going to happen. All you have to do is pull the cut end and the sunny end, the tip, and you can let that dry and spin it up on your wheel as soon as that's done. Usually the sunny end is discolored and it's some kind of sun staining, or just like us are in the summer when your hair's been out flying around, the ends get a little bit broken down and so they're not as protected. So you can see the difference in that wool as it was from before. Now we're just going to have, okay, so here's a before and after. I don't know if you can really see the difference there, but it's really, in real life, the lighting it really does make a difference. So here is a skein spun in the grease. And I'm going to, again, just get this probably 108, 104. A hot tub is usually 104 and it's pretty uncomfortable to go in. We're just going to wash 1/2 of this white. When I spin Jacob, I separate the colors. So this is the darker bits, this is the whiter bits, and this is the darker bits with a little bit, this is the whiter wool with a little bit of color in. So it's really simple. And if you like, excuse my house cleaning situation, but if you like homesteading, so this is coming off is soil that is not feces. The wax is coming off. It's always best to do this outside. I'm just doing it inside for the demo because there are fire ants out there and I can't handle it. But the lanolin, the fat, the wax will attach to your pipes, so don't do this inside all the time. Or at least do your first 2 rinses outside. But literally, that was maybe 3 seconds. And look at the difference. So when you spin in the grease, you're just keeping it moisturized. And then afterward, this is what it's like. So you've already brought it down to a ply. And then after I wash one ply, and this is called wet finishing, I hang it to dry, not in the direct sun because that's not really great for it as it's before you've plied it. So just rinse it, hang it to dry, and then have them all as singles, and you can ply it whenever you want. But it really shows the incredible difference that just a little bit of tiny washing does. I love that. So I'll just finish this guy up so I can hang him outside. And then this next one, and you can tell the land where they lived by looking at the color of the soil. It's pretty fascinating. I love this part. I just love Jacobs. They're amazing creatures. Okay, so the next one. These are the dark spots on the Jacob. These are not as dark as brown. They're kind of a beautiful medium grayish kind of earthy brown on the sheep, and I just love it. He really is my favorite to spin so far. This year, between 20 and 21, I'm up to, I think, my 26th different breed that I've done, and I love it. So you can see it's not as dramatic, but how much simple. It is so much more simple, in my opinion, to spin it in the grease. And then you don't have all these wild, crazy hairs to control. You just have a beautiful skein that you rinse out with a little bit of Dawn. That was too much Dawn. It's getting a little bit too hot. If it's making your fingers tingle, it's too hot. You really want it. I really like it like 104, 103, just like a hot tub. That's not so much that it's going to strip it. I do not like working with over-scoured wool, and it is a dream. So this is a little overspun, and I'm okay with that because when I take out the lanolin, it's a little bit crimpy. And if it's too crimpy, then I just weight it. I just put a can in the bottom as it's drying. Let me get one. If you're new at spinning and you overspin, which is a common problem, you can take any can, even a little tomato paste can, and as it's drying, just weight it like this. It'll pull out the extra crimp, but you still want that extra crimp for when you're plying so that it kind of binds well with the other piece. So that's 8 minutes of scouring a single.